everybody, welcome to Sozium Classes. This is Chandralekha bringing to you the news podcast. All the news you need and more.
The two topics we will be covering today are about the Special Frontier Force, keeping in mind that came into limelight with the India and China border standoff, which covers the General Studies paper 2. And the second news is about the digital divide shadows post-pandemic education, which is a part of the General Studies paper 3, which came in the headlines today. Keeping this news in mind, we will be looking at what National Statistical Office is. So we will be covering all the information that is required for the exam with respect to both these topics. Since May 5th, 2020, the Chinese and Indian troops have engaged in aggressive melee and face-offs at locations along the Sino-Indian border, including near the disputed Pangong Lake in Ladakh and near the border between Sikkim and the autonomous Tibet region. Additional clashes also took place at locations on the eastern Ladakh along the line of actual control. Let us now look at the background of the disputes between India and China. The borders between both these locations have been disputed at multiple locations, that is the Ladakh region over here and the Arunachal Pradesh region here, part of Sikkim and few regions near the Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh. So there is no publicly available map depicting the Indian version of the line of actual control, and the Survey of India maps are the only evidence of the official border for India. And the Chinese version of the line of actual control mostly consists of claims in the Ladakh region and the Arunachal Pradesh region. So the most recent standoff that took place between both these countries on September 7th, when the Chinese army claimed that the Indian troops fired along the disputed line of actual control, whereas the Indian army stated that it was the Chinese troops that first initiated and fired few rounds in the air, and the Indian army mentions that this was an attempt to intimidate our Indian troops. With the standoffs happening between both these countries and the death of an SFF officer, that is a Special Frontier Officer, on August 30th, brought into limelight what Special Frontier Force is. The Special Frontier Force is a special force of India which recruits from among the Tibetans exiled in India. It was created on 14th November 1962. The SFF was raised with the covert operations in mind, mainly along the Indo-China border. However, they are fielded by the Research and Analysis Wing, that is RAW, and the Indian government in various covert and overt operation theatres. The SFF has played an important role in multiple military operations from the 1971 India-Pakistan War till the 1999 Kargil battle, but has largely functioned under shadows. The recent deployment along the line of actual control has brought the SFF into the public attention. The death of an SFF Tibetan soldier on August 30th at the line of actual control now shed the spotlight on the Special Frontier Force, predominantly the Tibetan soldiers. Unlike the past, the deployment of SFF is no longer a secret. Recently, a large crowd gathered in Shimla to boost the morale, this is the picture, to boost the morale of the departing troops of the Special Frontier Force. This shows how people in this Tibetan diaspora and refugee community are rallying around the Indian forces and showing their patriotism. This new position in the limelight might provide the opportunity for the SFF warriors to get along the overdue recognition from the government. Personnel who have worked with the SFF also mentioned that they believe that it is just the beginning of the story for the SFF, and they believe that it ultimately, the SFF should be an integrated part of the Indian Army. So this way, due to the death of an SFF officer on August 30th of this year at the line of actual control border disputed region, brought the SFF into limelight. So experts feel that and the personals that have earlier worked with the SFF feel that SFF should eventually integrate with the Indian Army. This was about the first news.
The second topic we will be looking at today is based on the report that was submitted by the National Statistical Office. The headlines in today's newspaper reads that the digital device shadows post-pandemic education. So this NSO report highlights the disparity in access to online classes, keeping in mind the COVID-19 situation. The NSO report says that in India, only 1 out of every 10 households have a computer, be it a desktop or a laptop or a tablet. However, almost a quarter of all the houses have internet facilities accessed via fixed or mobile networks using any devices including smartphones. Most of these internet-enabled homes are located in the cities where 42% have internet access, and in the rural areas only 15% of the population has internet access. Delhi has the highest internet access with 55%, and Himachal Pradesh and Kerala rank the highest states, the only states where more than half of all the households have internet. This report was pulled based on the economic status of every household. So the NSO has divided the population into 5 equal economic groups. 5 economic groups based on their incomes, per capita incomes, and has demarcated. And in this report, it states that Odisha has 63% of households in urban region who have internet access, whereas only 2.4% of the rural households use internet in the state of Odisha. So this way the report shows us the statistics of how online classes have been accessible to places where there was major internet access and to the rest of the country where there was least amount of internet access. So keeping this article in mind, let us look at what National Statistical Office is. So the Government of India on May 2019 has decided to merge the National Sample Survey Office and the Central Statistical Office under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation and called it the National Statistical Office. So the current structure of the National Statistical Office is the ministry has two wings. One which is used for all the statistical purposes and the other for other implementation purposes. The statistics wing, that is the NSO, that consists of the National Sample Survey Organization and the Central Statistics Office. So the CSO coordinates the statistical activities and evolves the statistical standards, whereas the NSO is responsible to conduct a large-scale sample surveys all over the country, that is all over India. Besides these two wings, there is also a National Statistical Commission created through a resolution by the Government of India under the Ministry of Statistics and Implementation, and one autonomous institute called the Indian Statistical Institute, declared as an institute for national importance by an Act of Parliament. So the reason we have discussed this is there can always be a question. In the year 2017, there was a prelims question on the National Sample Survey Office organization. So there can always be questions with respect to the merging of these institutions into NSO. So here is the snapshot of the daily news diary of today, that is 9th September 2020. Let me read out the questions to you. Celebrating Himalayan Divas on 9th September, explain how we as outsiders have disconnected the mountains from the people from the resources, and the resources from their livelihood. The second question is, according to the National Statistical Organization survey, how deep is the digital divide in post-pandemic education scenario of the country? The short questions are, give a gist of the Health in India report and its immunization program status. The second question is, write a short note on the global GDP projections according to the credit rating agency, Fitch Ratings. So the answers to these questions are available in the website www.sozineclasses.com. This is the prelims question that is given in the daily news diary of today's. So the question is consider the following statements. The iconic gate was built as a monument under Mission Anupam. Statement 2 has recently been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and statement 3 depicts the cultural and arctic heritage of different regions of Gujarat. Which of the above statements stand correct regarding the recent inauguration of Patrika Gate? And the options are option A 1 alone, option B 1 and 2, option C all of the above, and option D none of the above. Thus leaving you all to write your answer in the comments section below. This is a wrap on your News podcast. Tomorrow is another day with another news. Thank you and have a great day.